Hi there, Virgo. This is Carrie at Wooing Nature. Welcome to January. This is what it's all about. This is you taking account of all of your blessings, of everything that you have done to make it thus far. This has been a challenging year. I don't even feel like saying it because it's been said ad nauseum. I don't want us to get caught up in that energy though, because the energy that you allow yourself to succumb to or get drawn into, then that's the energy that you're in. Now, I'm not saying to be foolish or do anything crazy because that's not my motivation. Everything is in balance here, so you have to move in balance as well. So, if it's anything that represents some level of imbalance for you, or it is creating an imbalance for you, then your job is to figure out how to bring that to balance, and that's why I'm here to help you do that. All right, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to read from the I-Ching because my purpose in having this reading is to help us look at the whole 2021. So I'm not just looking at January, even though this is your January reading. I'm looking at all of 2021. The whole perspective is about 2021. And so I'm going to read I Ching because I Ching to me gives you a very broad, circumspect view of a situation. And I felt like it's really a one of, not the, but it is one of the divination methods that I think will give you some real sound advice and also will give you some admonitions, things to think about. It'll also give you some warnings. So it's not all frou frou la la, it's going to give it to you straight. And then also, um, it will give you some tips and some pointers on how to deal with energies if that's what you're having to deal with. Okay. All right, Virgo. So I've got your two cards. They came out all at once here, and we are looking at card number 46. So that is the passage that I will be reading from. These are if you're a little confused that I'm talking about I Ching and I don't have coins and I don't have yarrow, that's because these are the Holitzka cards. These are I Ching cards. I am one of those people who said I would never ever get an I Ching deck of cards, but I did end up getting this I Ching deck of cards because I really love the pen and ink drawings. And as you all know, through the art of the deck, I really do love artistry, and so this one drew me to it. And the method is effective. It is effective, and so ultimately, when you're looking at divination methods, if it's effective, if it resonates with you, then and and it brings you balance, then it's a good thing. All right, so Virgo, we've got Ascension. This is your card. It's Ascension. I like it. I like it because we've been talking about Ascension for a very long time. And there have been people who've been talking about Ascension actually for years. For me, I have been hearing about the Ascensions for at least 25 years or more. So this is not new. Ascensions are not new. But I think that the last ascension that we experienced was so intense and so uh, overarching and all reaching that most people cannot deny it. Now, they may use a different word to describe what happened, like all hell broke loose. Okay. But for those of us who are understanding of our position on planet Earth, as far as being healers or light bringers or whatever, however you want to think about that, and I do know that there's a lot of controversy about who's light and who's dark and whether the dark and the light. But look, if you know yourself and you understand the spiritual realm, then you will also understand the concept of yin and yang. That all dark is not all dark, and all light is not all light, and you have to be able to understand the light and the dark and the dark and the light in order for you to understand yourself on planet Earth, because we are in a dualistic environment, it just is what it is. So anyway, I digress. We are on number 46. Your passage is Ascension. I'm getting ready to read that for you. Again, it's 46, so for those of you who are numerologically inclined, you can do the math. It says ascension is the sign. This sign heralds a phase of exceptional success and recognition. You might even be presented with a chance to establish contact with a highly influential person. Use it with self awareness, but avoid appearing smug, as this will only spoil things. So self-awareness means that um, knowing that the encounter was intended for you and that you have something to contribute to the encounter, and whoever the encounter involves has something to gain from it and also something to give. It's a mutual exchange. So therefore you get out of that feeling of like, ooh, look what I did. We don't need all of that. It's not necessary, and you don't want to spoil your blessing, okay? It is especially important that you work ahead steadfastly and maintain your independence. If you could do no harm, it could do no harm to build up greater solidarity with other people. Your feeling for things that matter between people will show you the way to better teamwork. The password to your inner develop now is self-discipline. Did I say that right? Your password to inner development now is self-discipline. By being self-disciplined, your feet stay firmly planted on the ground and lasting success emerges. And that's what Virgo um, ultimately wants. It takes a little bit um, of patience. It takes a little bit of patience. But you're going to see in 2021 that the patience that you've already exercised is formulating in whoever this is that's coming into your cipher, okay? And it's because of the ascension that is happening. Because that's the one thing that some people have been asking about is like, well, when is this going to happen? Or when is that going to happen? Or when am I going to be in a better relationship? Or when am I, what's going on with this? Sometimes, or at least right now, people are still going through their processes. And so until the dust settles on that, you probably don't want to start doing too many things anyway, because some of the things that you would be doing would be old energy things, and some of them will be new, and you'll just overwork yourself. So the thing is just to release the old things, and you'll know when the old things are going, because it's going to feel like old things going. It's going to feel like I'm getting tired of this. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't take another day of this, that kind of stuff. All right. So your changing lines here are number 1, number 4, and that's it. So I'll be reading lines 1 and 4. And with this just gives you a little more detail. There may be some very different messages that I read here. So if one resonates and the other doesn't, that's fine. Just whatever resonates with you on these 2 lines is fine. And if neither one of these really resonates with you, then the main message is what you'll be focusing on. So we're looking at number 1 again, and we're also looking at number 4. Number 1, you are not in the best of situations now. So for some of you, it's right now you're not in the best of situations. The reason is simple. Your capabilities have not yet been recognized. Your capabilities have not yet been recognized. And I'm going to say the first person that needs to recognize your capabilities is you, Virgo. And then once you recognize your capabilities, then somebody else is going to recognize it. That goes back to heralding a time with exceptional success and recognition. So if you're not receiving the recognition, it's because your capabilities haven't been recognized yet. And I would say recognize them in yourself first, and then other people will recognize them, because it'll exude from you. By hard work and perseverance, you win the trust of an influential person. That's the influential person we talked about. Success and recognition loom in the horizon. And then line 4 says, as soon as you have reached your material goal, you will feel the need to develop spiritually as well. You will then understand just how whole it is possible, just how whole it is impossible for you to become. That's what it means. Okay. So you're going to understand how whole you can possibly be. Okay. So the material goal actually is first, and then the spiritual goal will come second. I know some of you have been working on your spiritual goals as well. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But don't forget that there is a material goal involved in this too. Don't negate the material for the spiritual, because again, we're talking about balance. So this ascension process is really, really good for you. And I feel like you are making that ascent. You are making it, or you have already made it, or you will definitely be making it as you are moving into 2021. All right, so I am going to turn to the spirit of the wheel because I'm pulling the seasons, the time periods from that deck. But I'll also be overlaying them with the Sun and Moon Tarot, so that we can see what's going on month to month. Again, I said this video is not just for January, but it's really for all of 2021. So we're going to look at each month one step ahead and get ahead of ourselves, get one step ahead of ourselves for 2021. It seems only fair that we do that. All right, so we're looking at January, February, March. January, February, March, around that period of time. Now, these aren't exact, but like into January, going into February, February to March, January to February, December to January, January to February, February to March, something like that. Anyway, all right, so first part of the year, January, starting out, we have the Hierophant, lessons being learned, things being understood. You are gleaning the messages from Spirit. Spirit is speaking to you about the nature of who you are. You are spending time to yourself because this is the rest and cleansing moon. So this is the time for you to balance yourself out. It's also time for you to set your own boundaries. And the best way to do that is to understand your own personal boundaries. That's like without everybody else in the picture, okay? So in February, you get some fire, you're getting some energy here. This is the essence of fire, which means that this is coming to you to do your work. Fire can come in the form of a spiritual message. It can come in the form of an idea, a concept. It could be an opportunity that comes towards you. Any of that. So when we talked about those opportunities or those people, it could come in February. And then in March is when you're going to take that energy and use it, because this is the magician. And the magician works with all the elements, earth, air, fire, and water. But since the fire presents itself to you, you're going to work with that energy and utilize that energy that came towards you in February during March. And that's when you're going to make some things happen for yourself. All right, as we go into April, May, and June. April, May, and June. April, May, and June, please. 2021 for Virgo. There's April. Woo. There's May. May. And June. June. All right, so starting in April, this is when you are building on your dreams. You're building on what it is that you're envisioning for yourself. Again, don't forget that overall theme of ascension, because that may be still happening for some of you. With the justice here, we're talking about balancing yourself out. The justice is when you weigh your experiences, what you've been doing, how you've been doing, what you've done, what you haven't done, and you weigh it in balance with the heart. That's the spirit of Ma'at that's coming through with that. And so the idea is that you feel clear. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you did, you have accepted it. If there's any failures you had, then you know what they are. You have, if there's any debts or if it's anything you need to resolve inside of yourself or with another person, you take care of that, because the idea is you want your yoke to be easy and your burden to be light. And that's what you'll be working on in April. So then when we get to May, in May, we're seeing some connection of energy. It talks about balancing energy here in this period of time. This is a time to balance energy, but it looks like someone or something may be coming towards you to balance you out. This could be a love relationship. Usually when we see the Two of Cups, it's about love relationships. So for those of you who are looking to either rekindle your love relationship, or you're looking to enhance your love relationship, or you're looking for a love relationship, May would be the time to make that happen and to see that happen. The best way to approach any relationship that you're in with somebody is with honesty of emotion. So being able to express yourself honestly with this other person person is going to be how you know that you have connected to the right love energy. And then in June, we have the Four of Pentacles here. Now, Four of Pentacles typically is about control, trying to control your environment in some kind of way. This is coming in at a time when you are pursuing your creative efforts, when you may be you may be invited to some other social environments, or you may be invited to come into some different social circles. And that may bring up issues around control and power for you, because it may just be that you feel a little insecure because these are new people, or it's a new situation that you found yourself in. But the thing about that is, don't try to control it. Just kind of be in it and let things to materialize in the way that they need to materialize for you. You don't have to put your hands on that. Like when you get invited, or if you're in these different circles and you feel insecure, you feel like maybe I don't really know as much as I think I know, and that kind of thing, then just feel that. But then after you feel that, then you want to say to yourself, you know what? I wouldn't be here if I wasn't supposed to be here. All right, moving right along into July, August, and September. July, August, September, please. There's July, nice and sunny. You and this significant other person are having a great time. This may be a good time for a vacation, or maybe you'll want to take a vacation with that person that you connected with. Or if it's not about vacationing and love, then it's just maybe that would be the opportunity for the two of you all, or whoever is in that relationship, to bond, but not to bond over anything other than just bonding, getting to know each other. So you'll be learning from joy. All right, so in August, we have order coming in. This is you rearranging or being in a different structure, or addressing structure during the harvest season. This is also Virgo, around the time of your birthday. Like some of you are having birthdays around that time. So this might be a good time for you to reorganize, or really almost have a new year for yourself. Because, we always do the beginning of the year resolutions and things like that. I'm going to say just work through your year. Don't worry about doing New Year's resolutions. Just go through the year just like I was telling you. And then when it comes to your birthday, start making your resolutions then, because you've got the power of the emperor behind you at that time. So that's different, right? Like don't start making plans right now. Let the year move through, like get through the first half of the year, and then think about doing that on your birthday. All right, so as we move into, this is August, October, no, September, late September into October. We've got some self-reflection time. This is a time for you to move away from all of the, excitement. It's also a time for you to get a time out, because you're going to need it. A lot of times we don't think, like when things are going really well, like the way it looks like it's going to be for you with this beautiful sun up here. We don't realize that it does take a lot of energy. Joy takes a lot of energy too. Just like anything else. It's so sometimes when you have a lot going on, you still need to take a time out. A lot of positive things going on, you still need to take a time out. That way you don't burn out with the excitement, or that way you don't have those highs and lows. Like, how you get that, you reach that peak experience and then you crash. That's the reason why. All right, so we are talking about October, November, December. And in October, which is the time that it's starting to get cold again, is a time for release. It's a time for you to this is a good time for meditation and reconnecting. There's this reconnecting happening at the very beginning of the year. Remember when I said that you're kind of learning about and reconnecting to the nature of who you are and all of that. I feel like this time is going to be a repeat of that. But this time you're going to be releasing some aspects of your life that are that don't allow you to be in that place of peace. Then in November, you're in your star power. You return to your star power. This is going to be the time when you'll probably be able to manifest things very quickly. Okay, so if there's things you want to manifest, especially in relationship to these new people or this new situation that's coming in with the ascension, then by the time you get to November, you're really going to be able to use to be and it is, that whole concept of be and it is. That's when you're going to be in that space. And then in December, you can expect some changes to happen, some shifts to happen. Um, and you'll want to pay attention to those people who are a part of that shift. So it looks like there's another shift happening for you. So you got the ascension for 2021, but then going into 2022, it looks like, Virgo, you're getting ready to bump up another level. So end of 21 going into 2022 is when you're going to jump up another level again. And I think that's why they're asking you to take that time around your birthday. This is late August into September, into mid-September is what we're talking about. So that would be the time around your birthday for some of you that you would be reestablishing some order because for yourself, because once you do that at the end of the year, you're going to get ready for another ascension process. But you'll be fully prepared for it, and that's what feels great. All right, Virgo, that is your reading for 2021, January reading for 2021. If you would like to take the deeper dive, you know where to find me. The deeper dive is when we look at your personal situation. I always start with a medicine wheel just to get our bearings straight, and we just keep digging and digging until we really get to some bottom lines for you so that you will know where you need to plan, what you need to be focusing on now so that you're not, stretching yourself too thin or trying to do too much, because sometimes that can happen when we're particularly ambitious about our development, around our personal development, and that's completely understandable. All right, so if you want to take the deeper dive, you can reach out to me. I am at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. You can also check out the website at wooingnature.life if you want to see the other services that are available to you through Wooing Nature. And you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I am at Wooing Nature there as well. As always, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a wonderful January, a happy new year, a great 2021, and I hope you're having a fabulous life.